Good afternoon, everyone, and thank you for joining us. Later today, North Carolina will start feeling the effects of a major winter storm. And let me remind you, this is a snowstorm, not a snowfall. It's serious. In the Piedmont to the western parts of our state, we're preparing for days of impact, not hours. Winter storm warnings will be in effect across much of our state. And wherever you are in North Carolina, you are likely to feel the effect of this storm in some way. Snow and sleet will stretch east from the mountains and the foothills and into the Triad and Charlotte this evening and into the early morning hours. After midnight, snow and ice are expected to start falling in the Triangle. Snowfall could be seen as far east as Greenville and Goldsboro. Eastern North Carolina can expect heavy rain, gusty wind, and some coastal flooding and beach erosion. Duke Energy warns that the storm could cause up to 500,000 power outages in our state. Finish doing what you need to do today. Tonight and tomorrow, it's time to hunker down and to stay safe. Winter storms are especially tricky to predict in North Carolina, so keep a close eye on the changing conditions. Even if current forecast doesn't show snow or ice expected where you live, that could change over the next 12 or 24 hours. Snow and ice will make roads treacherous. Plan to stay off the road when the rain or snow starts. Even if conditions are okay where you are, they may not be where you're going. This weekend isn't the time to head out to see some winter wonderland. Stay safe where you are. Getting out on dangerous roads could put your life at risk. It also gets in the way of first responders and road crews who will be hard at work trying to keep us safe and clear our roads. North Carolina is ready for this storm, and I encourage people to make sure that their family, their friends, and neighbors are ready as well. Yesterday, I issued a statewide state of emergency and activated National Guard troops. Our Emergency Operations Center is activated, and key partners are here, including Emergency Management, Department of Transportation, the Highway Patrol, the National Guard, and our utilities. In addition to snow and ice on our roads, we're concerned about power outages with this storm. It doesn't take much wind. It doesn't take a whole lot of wind to bring down limbs and trees, especially after a heavy, wet snow and ice. Our utilities have brought in more than 1,500 crews from other states so that they can spring into action to get the power back on. There are also steps that you need to take to get your family ready. Hope many of you have already started doing this. Update your emergency supplies, including a 3-day supply of food, fresh batteries for your flashlights, dress in layers to stay warm, stay indoors during the storm as much as you can, and plan to keep your pets indoors or in a sheltered situation as well. If you lose power and you want to use an alternate heat source, make sure you know how to use it safely. Operate generators and grills outside only and away from open windows or doors to prevent carbon monoxide poisoning. And again, I urge avoiding driving on snow or ice-covered roads. If you absolutely must travel, clear your car of snow and ice before you drive, slow down, and leave room between you and other vehicles. Check road conditions before you leave on drivenc.gov, and keep an emergency kit in your vehicle, including ice scraper, jumper cables, tow chain, blankets, flashlight, first aid kit. You can find more tips on preparing for winter weather at readync.org. Here with me today is North Carolina's team that is set to respond to this storm. I have Public Safety Secretary Eric Hooks, Transportation Secretary Jim Trogdon, Emergency Management Director Mike Sprayberry, North Carolina National Guard General Todd Hunt, Highway Patrol Colonel Glenn McNeil, the commander of the Highway Patrol, and I have Lee Williamson here, who is our sign language interpreter. I'm going to ask Mike Sprayberry if he can give us an update of our Emergency Operations Center. Mike.
Thank you, Governor. Good morning, everyone. As a significant winter storm begins to unfold across North Carolina, we planned the response with our state emergency response team partners. We know this is going to be a widespread state event. We've activated the state EOC along with our regional coordinating centers so we can provide the full spectrum of disaster response capability to all impacted areas. As the governor noted, our state agencies, volunteer agencies, utilities, and private sector are all standing by, ready to respond to the storm's impacts. Again, we can't overemphasize that our residents and visitors should stay off the roads during this event so our first responders and utility crews can do their jobs. As always, follow the instructions of your local officials and stay tuned to your local media for situational awareness. Thank you for your support of the North Carolina State Emergency Response Team. Thank you, sir.
Thank you, Mike. I'll now call on Secretary of the Department of Transportation, Jim Trogdon. Jim?
Thank you, sir. Since yesterday morning, NCDOT has been continuing our anti-icing operations, and based on the revised weather forecast and new winter weather advisory, extended that coverage of anti-icing a little bit east of I-95 into those counties in the advisory area. Our crews placed an additional 1.1 million gallons of anti-icing agents since yesterday morning, and we will be completing those activities today and transitioning our crews that will report tonight and tomorrow into snow plowing and salt spreading operations after the storm hits. So we are ready to respond to this storm and do recommend that folks, before they leave, visit drivenc.gov and do not travel if it's not necessary. Thank you.
Thank you, Jim. And now the commander of the North Carolina Highway Patrol, Colonel Glenn McNeil.
Thank you, Governor. In participation with our state and local partners, the State Highway Patrol stands ready to assist as we await the incoming winter storm. Troopers across the state are prepared to mobilize and respond to the impacted areas when called upon. Our message is synonymous with that of Governor Cooper's. The public safety is paramount. Driving conditions will diminish throughout the day as snow and ice begin to fall along our roadways. Motorists are encouraged, please don't travel in the impacted areas if you don't have to. But if you must travel, make sure that you have a plan. Clear your vehicle of snow and ice so that would prevent flying debris from your vehicle. Make sure that your cell phone is fully charged in the event that you need it in an emergency. And if you are involved in a collision, remove your vehicle from the roadway if the collision is minor. This will prevent secondary events from occurring, which are more often more serious than the original event. For up-to-date roadway conditions, please visit drivenc.gov and please remain safe. Thank you.
Thank you, Colonel. We'll be glad to take any questions that you might have.
I guess since the storm's not here yet, are you worried that...
Grab that mic if you will. Yep.
I guess since the storm hasn't shown itself yet, are you worried that North Carolinians will underestimate this and not realize that this storm is coming as quickly as it is?
This is early for North Carolina to be talking about this kind of winter storm. So I know we have a situation in our state where we are often on the line of frozen precipitation or not. And you never know exactly where that line is going to be. The meteorologists do a pretty good job, but it's hard to tell exactly. I do believe, though, that particularly in the Piedmont, the mountains, and the Charlotte area, people know that this is serious. They're looking at a foot of snow, and that is something that they are taking serious. I feel confident about that. I think people in the Triangle East may not be taking this as serious, and when you look at the potential for some significant snowfall in the Triangle, we want people to be prepared. It's better to do too much than too little, because you can find yourself in a difficult situation, and that's why we're encouraging people to be careful. Any other questions? Right, yes.
Going off of that, I mean, we just finished just a few months ago preparing for hurricanes, those kind of disasters. So for people that have done that, you know, what are the similarities between preparing for something like that and preparing for this winter storm?
North Carolina has had experience in preparing for disasters. We have just had 2 hurricanes that have torn through our state. I believe that the quality of our response is tied to the coordination that we have with our local governments, local emergency management officials, our federal officials, our utilities, our private businesses, and our volunteer organizations. And here at our Emergency Operations Center, all of that is coordinated. I know that people can get tired of these kinds of disasters, but we should not let down our guard for a minute, because we do not want to lose lives. We want to minimize the economic damage. I know in many parts of our state that were hit by the hurricane that kids missed a lot of school. We really don't want to miss any more school days for those kids. So I know that there will be a lot of work done to try to clear our roads after this storm leaves, to get us back to business and back to school as soon as possible. I think we're ready for it, and we will continue to work hard to do that. All right, I think we will see you again at 11 o'clock tomorrow morning. It could be that we would do something before then, but I doubt it. It'll probably be at 11 tomorrow. Thank you very much.